hello. Welcome back to my channel, Lovely Moments Creating. If you are new here, welcome. Come on in and join the family. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button and remember the notification bell so you can be reminded every time I upload a video. My name is Jenny, and on this channel I create lovely DIYs using mostly items that I find at the Dollar Tree. I try to keep my DIYs budget friendly but easy to do. If you want to see some of my creations, then keep watching. Welcome back, and thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. I am sharing with you in today's video 3 easy Christmas DIY signs that I have created. All from the Dollar Tree. I'll be using 2 of these elf Christmas signs. I have one of these little smaller wooden signs, little holiday signs. I will be using some holiday ribbon that says joy and love. I also have some jute cord, a holiday pick, and all of these items did come from the Dollar Tree. I do have a stencil here I'll be using that say Merry Christmas, and I picked this stencil up from Hobby Lobby for $1.50, but Dollar Tree have some very cute stencils. I'll be using some red acrylic paint, some white chalk paint, and I'll be using some of that chalk paint in the color Java. And the first thing that I'm going to do is glue these 2 signs together. I did remove the attachments and some of the paper came off, but this is the back side, and I will be connecting these 2 signs using some of my tape. And I will probably later go over the back of this sign using this tape, only because I do like my signs to look good on both sides. And so once I flip it over, now I can go ahead and add my glue along the crease. I apologize if you hear my birds chirping. They are very busy today, very loud. So what I'm doing is I am going to go in with some of that spackle from the Dollar Tree, and for this DIY I am not using it to cover the line. I'm using it as glue. What it does is if you add it in the crease, when I glue 2 signs together like this, that spackle gets in the crease, and when it dries it helps keep the signs together. And so what I'm doing is just sanding that down a little bit so I can add my white chalk paint, and I'm going to paint this whole sign with that color. And once I get this sign completely covered, I'm now going in with that Java color, very little, and I'm just dry brushing around this sign, and I'm going to go right across this sign. You probably can't even see it because I'm adding very minimal amount of that color. I just try to tone the white down a little bit. And now I'm just sanding the glitter off of this sign because I'm going to go in with that red color acrylic paint, and I'm going to paint over this sign, so I wanted to get some of this glitter off of here. And I'm just going to paint over this using that color. And once I finish adding this red color, I am going to go in with some of that white chalk paint, and I'm going to distress all around it, and then I'm going to distress in front of the sign, just swiping straight down. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a little present, and so what I'm doing is just clipping off my pieces that I am going to attach. And so what I'm doing now is just adding my ribbon, and I'm going to go across and then I'm going to go down, and I'm just attaching it by the end with some hot glue. I'm going to attach a little bit in the middle because I need to be able to slide some jute cord under these ribbons, and so I didn't want to tack everything down, plus I didn't want any of the glue to seep through this little white ribbon. And then what I'm doing now is just adding some hot glue to each end, and then I'm going to cut off the excess. And now I just slid the jute cord under so I can pull it and tie a little bow. And then I'm going to start gluing my little pieces that I cut off the pick right on top of the bow. I kind of just wanted to gather the ribbon a little bit. And so now I'm just going to go in with all of my little pieces, and I'm going to glue them down right in the center. I did pick up a few of these little wooden signs from the Dollar Tree because they make great presents, and they're a really good size to create presents for different DIYs, or just create them alone and have them sitting like on your bookshelf and things like that. So I will be creating more of these. And so that is finished, and what I'm going to do now is take my stencil and I'm going to place it on my sign where I want it. And I'm going to put this little block here just to hold the sign down. Now when I use stencil, I like to use my round foam brush, and I go up and down, straight up and down. This technique that I use helps it not bleed so much, and it kind of keeps it where it needs to be. And I just keep going up and down directly over the stencil, and I don't soak the brush with paint. I kind of just keep dabbing and dabbing until I get the color all over there. I add a little paint, but not much, and I just dab over it. And I continue to do that process until I have all of the letters covered on top of the stencil. And then once I feel like I have everything filled in, I just lift it up, and there's my Merry Christmas. Sometimes you have to fix a few things, but everything looks fine. And what I'm going to do now is add my present to the side. And I just use some hot glue to attach my present to this sign. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the remaining leaves and berries off of that pick, and I'm going to add those to this sign. And I will be adding 3 of these, but I'm just trying to figure out where I want to place them. So the first leaves and berries I'm going to place right there, and then I'm going to take the other 2, I'm going to add one at the bottom, and then I'm going to add the other one right at the top. I wanted this to be a very simple, pretty Christmas sign, and I am liking how it's turning out. And I'm just going to add my last little leaf and my berry right in the middle, and this sign will be complete. You can add some jute cord or tape it to the back of this sign so it can hang, but I like it just propped up, and I think this turned out really nice. I love how this sign looks. I probably will be styling this right on top of my bookshelf when I decorate for the holiday. I think this is simple. I think this is very pretty. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get started on the second sign for today. For the second DIY, my items from the Dollar Tree will be another one of those holiday signs, and I'll be removing that holiday attachment. I have this Believe metal wording out of the 3-pack, and I have a floral holiday pick. And my items that I'll be using from Walmart will be some of this ribbon, and I paid $3.98 for this large roll, but it lasts a very long time. And I have this matching bow here from Walmart as well, and this was 99¢. I also have this little wooden plaque that I picked up from Hobby Lobby for 99¢. I'll be using some more of that white chalk paint, some of this ink color. I have some of this silver chalk paint, and I'll be using some red acrylic paint. The first thing I'm doing is going over the back of that sign using that ink color chalk paint. And once I get that complete, I am going to paint over that smaller sign with some of that silver color chalk paint. And then after I go over this sign, I am going to go over the Believe wording using that red acrylic paint. And I'm just brushing over it. Even if a little bit of that metal peeks through, it's okay. But for the most part, I am covering it. And now what I'm going to do is dry brush around this sign using some of that white chalk paint. And then I am going to just go with the remaining paint and just brush lightly. Nothing really much, just brushing over it a little bit. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to take this ribbon and I'm going to attach it right down the middle of this sign, and I'm just adding some hot glue, and I'm going to add it to the end, just curving a little bit under behind the sign. And then I'm stretching the ribbon across to the other side, and I'm going to glue that down. And I am going to add some glue under there, not much because it will peek through. I noticed that I did add a little bit too much on the side, so remember, not so much glue. But what I'm going to do is take this sign and go right on top of the ribbon in the center of this sign. And then I'm going to take the Believe wording and I'm going to add that on top of the smaller sign. After I get my Believe sign down, I'm going to add my other decor. I'm just clipping off these 3 small leaves off of this floral piece here. And then I'm going to glue these right to the top of the sign. I am pulling off of this floral pick. I just want the smaller little leaf that's in the center, and I'm going to glue these little leaves on each side. I'm going to glue one on each side, and then I'm going to glue down my floral piece. And then I'm just going to clip down the little piece on the back of the floral so I can remove that center attachment. And I'm just going to glue that floral piece right in the center of those 2 ribbon leaf pieces. And then I'm going to go in and add my berries. And then I'm going to add that 3rd leaf piece on the side. And then I'm going to take the little greenery and put it on the other side. So I'm just using my hot glue to attach both of these pieces, and then once I attach those, this DIY will be complete. And again, you can add some jute cord so this sign can hang, but I love how it looks just leaning up against on a bookshelf as well. I really think this turned out really pretty, and I can't wait to style this in my home when I decorate for the holidays. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get started on the last DIY for today. And for the final DIY, I'll be using the Other Joy metal sign out of that 3-pack. I have 2 of the sweeper mop heads. I also will be using this fall sign, and I have one of the holiday Christmas skirts. I will be using some of that white acrylic paint just to go around the edge of this sign. And I also will be using another floral holiday pick from the Dollar Tree, because all of these items did come from the Dollar Tree. After I finish painting around this sign, and I'm just painting around this sign just in case anything peeked through, I am painting over that Joy using that red acrylic paint. And after I get that painted, I'm going to start cutting the trimming of that skirt. And so what I'm doing is just using some of that white part of that Christmas tree skirt, and so I'm just going to cut off how much I need. And I'm just using that for the hanger for this sign, and I'm just gluing down the piece on each side. And this actually can still be a 2-sided sign because the fall decor on the other side is still there. And I'm just going to add some glue to my first sweeper mop head, and I am going to glue that right to the sign because I was trying to create like a bit of snow. And once I get that pressed down, I am going to go in and add the other one, and I'm just adding glue all around, and then I'm going to press that down as well. And then I'm just going to add my second one, and I'm going to press that down. Now I did paint the wood piece white, so there's a very small amount at the bottom, which you can leave it like that, but I may take some more of that Christmas tree skirt and add it to the very bottom. So what I'm doing now is just gluing down my Joy sign right in the center. And I already pulled my little floral pieces off of that holiday pick from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to add some glue and attach those pieces all around my Joy. And I really like how this sign is turning out. And I did purchase more of these sweeper heads because I will be creating some DIYs to go with this sign. I was thinking of going with a whole snow theme And what I'm going to do is just add some extra glue to make sure that these are all attached. And I did cut off some more of that trimming of that skirt to add it to the bottom. And I think this turned out really, really pretty. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, please remember to give it thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel because I would love to have you here. And in the comment box down below, let me know which one of these signs were your favorite. I really love how all of them turned out. Thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. And until next time, stay safe and I will see you in the next video.